Hello everyone. Today we'll be back in Journal 2 and we'll be on Chapter 17, this will be Part 1. Judas present, Dharma, that we might continue. Blessings upon these words that I can tell of the story in accuracy. So be it. 3 days later. On the evening of the third day following the crucifixion of Emmanuel, the disciples were gathered in a room, in the city in which they had taken their last meal with Emmanuel. It was the time of the ancient holiday of Easter, and they had gathered to speak of things which had been happening. Behold, the door opened, and a stranger entered, someone they had never seen before. The person had a cloth across his face. They were immediately afraid it might be one of the Jews come to betray them. The stranger gently spoke and said, "Peace be with you." And he took the cloth from across his face, and they could see that it was Emmanuel. Doubting Thomas. He then showed them his hands, and his loins, and his feet, and they could see his wounds. There was a great confusion, but great exuberance at his presence. However, there was also great doubt as to such a reality, and Thomas believed the form to be an apparition, and said to Emmanuel, "If I could just touch your wounds, then I would know that you are not an illusion." Emmanuel said to him, "Stretch forth your hand unto me, and put it on my wounds, so that you of little faith can believe." Thomas did as told, and touched the wounds of Emmanuel's body, and in shocked quiet said, "Verily it is you." And that's something you can see in our book still, is why could he put his hands through his hands? Think about that. If he was still in his flesh. Just like if he wasn't in the tomb. It's still in the book. He never fully died on the cross. He didn't fully die in the tomb. He was healed. Emmanuel then turned from his disciples, and as he had departed, he told them, "Keep this a secret, my return, so that it will not become known that I am alive," and never fully died. And so he never died for your sins. But behold, the next day the disciples set out to go to Galilee, and to spread the happy news among the followers of Emmanuel. 2 more appearances. As the disciples went along their way, a transient stranger joined them, and walked along with them for a portion of the journey. They were sad and talked among each other about how Emmanuel had been forced to die on the cross, and all about the things which had come about in the prior days. The stranger asked them, "Why are you mourning?" And they chattered to him about all the things which grieved them. The stranger said, "You have such little faith. Emmanuel had told you that he would rise from half-death after 3 days and nights. And just as he said, so it has happened." As he spoke, Emmanuel took the dust cloth from his face, and they recognized him. Emmanuel spoke not another word. He turned and went away, and was not seen again for a long period of time. Then it happened one day that some of the disciples were fishing in the Sea of Tiberias, long after Emmanuel had disappeared, and they caught nothing the entire night. They were most angry and weary as dawn broke in the new day. When they came to the shore, there stood a stranger with his face covered, who spoke, saying, "Do you not have something to eat? For I am hungry." They answered and said, "No, for we have caught not even one fish in our nets." The stranger spoke, saying, "Throw the net out to the right side of the boat, and you will catch a great number." They were astonished because of his speech, but did decide to follow his request, and cast the net to the right side of the boat. And behold, they could not pull the net because of the great multitude of fish therein. They then came ashore and prepared a meal, for they too were hungry. Behold, the stranger uncovered his face, and it was Emmanuel. While they were eating and sharing great joy, he said to them, "Go to Galilee, in a certain mountain. There I will join you, for our time together has ended, and each one may go his own way." The disciples went to the mountain unto which Emmanuel had instructed to go, and there they met him. And that'll be it for Part 1.